Hey, Paz.
What is it, Snake?
I got a picture for you.
Remember Professor Galvez on his instrument during Peace Day?
Ah, yes.
Such a
Theremin.
funny sound for a musical instrument. He said the Soviets invented it. Everyone sure seemed impressed. Music has no borders. The professor taught me that. Where's Professor Galvez anyway?
He shot a rocket at me through his fist.
I'm sorry, Snake. My head hurts.
Okay.
Could you let me rest?
Sure. Alright, sleep tight, Paz. So every time we give Paz a, How do I... I have to use this? Okay. Well, every time we give Paz a picture, the, prior one shows up here on the wall. And that's kind of how you... maintain track of your Paz progress. There is an end to that eventually. Oh, Gallo Pinto. Ah, that sounds good about now. Man, they still haven't given you a better curtain for this, huh? No soap either. Alright, well, you rest up. We're gonna go out on an important mission. Button? Button prompt, please, thank you.
Boss, the CFA soldiers deployed to Walla Yamasa have been annihilated.
Oh!
There are no signs of combat, nor any endemic disease. All the adults just disappeared.
Oh, that's a bit of a
Only
pickle.
children were left. All those kids were ever taught was how to fight, and now they're free of the control of adults. They've become a regular bunch of marauders, raiding nearby villages, beating people and destroying property. Our contract comes from the government. We're to locate this militia, these kids, and kill them. But I say we do this the Diamond Dogs way. The government wants
Forgot
these
he
raids
said
to
that.
stop.
I really forgot he said
We
that.
can see to that, but not by killing kids. We're going to disarm, demobilize, and reintegrate them. A DDR operation.
Oh, sweet. Dance Dance
To
Revolution.
begin with, extract their commander to Mother Base. Once they lose that kid, the one they call White Mamba,
The
the
White
rest of the
Mamba.
group will fall apart by itself.
Alright, so this is kind of the climax of the child soldier arc, you could call it. And we're going to go in on this mission with a buddy. Let's take along, quiet... Oh! Oh, Paz, you're feeling better? Alright, sure, we'll bring her along with us, why not? And, let's go bright and early. Wake those kids up. Tell them they gotta get on the bus to Mother Base School. I don't know what I'm saying. So the White Mamba, huh? Wonder who that could be. I wonder if that's a significant character that they also spoiled in a trailer and told us the name of. I wonder if that's a significant character they're about to spoil right here in these opening credits.
And bring him back to Mother Base. First off, head for Walla Yamasa.
Hey, Paz. You ready to do this? Eli, the White Mamba, huh? So, that's another one of those things where, yeah, we knew that name early on in a trailer. And, oh man. People dug out their Bible stories for that one. And it's actually kind of clever. David and Eli were brothers, and Eli was destined to be king. He was given everything, you know. But then the humble David usurped the throne. That whole story. So yeah, people were pretty, you know, pretty quick to figure out the identity of Eli. And I think it's actually cool that David and Eli are biblical names, given, you know, Adam, Eva, Snake. None of this was intended initially. Solid Snake's real name being David, I believe, was established in... I don't remember if it was Metal Gear 1, but it was definitely in Metal Gear 2. So him having the names of David and Snake didn't really mean anything. It's just kind of what they went with. Now, coincidentally, Solid Snake would end up being voiced by David Hayter in MGS1. But of course, MGS3 introduced the whole biblical aspect, Adam, Eve, and the snake. And I don't know, I actually like it. I think it's pretty cool. And I think them expanding upon that with now an Eli being introduced. That's neat. That's neat. It's one of those, like, happy accidents. Speaking of happy accidents, here's a bunch of kids. Well, I don't know if having a kid is necessarily a happy accident for some people. But, you know, even here, even these kids, they seem to really love Snake's revenge. So they're a bit of an issue to deal with. Because, you know, we don't want to beat the children up too much. Tranquilizing them, though, I mean, that's fine. I think also tranquilizers are more effective against child soldiers than regular soldiers. I think there actually is a system in the game that's like, well, you know, they've got their little kid bodies, so you could just shoot them up just about anywhere and they fall asleep. Kind of a fucked up mechanic, but, you know, kind of fucked up that we're fighting child soldiers at all. Oh. There we go. And let's just make sure we get them all out of here. Because another kind of messed up, but kind of neat, I guess, mechanic is if you save kids, you get heroism points. And heroism points is another system similar to the GMP economy that exists in this game that we've been ignoring because it's annoying. Higher heroism means you get better recruits and better volunteers. It also counteracts the demon point system that I've not spoken about, because it's also kind of a stupid system that doesn't really amount to anything, but it's kind of the inverse of that.
Subject on board.
Demon points are like the more evil things you do, Snake's appearance will change slightly and then drastically, but it's not really cool. Basically, you just get covered in permanent blood. Heroism keeps the demon points down, but you don't, you know, it's interesting because there's a bit of a morality system with that. But, of course, Snake is meant to have a horn in this game. Demon points make your horn grow, and then you get covered in blood. I'm surprised heroism doesn't, you know, get rid of the horn. Most games that have a binary morality system like that, you know, there's like a neutral, a good, and an evil version of the character. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, we saved more childers. That's very good of us.
But if you extract their commander, those kids will have no choice but to stand down. Should wrap up the whole situation.
All right.
They're still kids. You can't kill any one of them, including the commander.
Miller.
If things get rough, neutralize them by knocking them out or by tranquilizing them.
So Miller was all for killing children before, but now he's kind of softened his tone, which is also kind of messed up. So we're going to send Paz to scout this area out for us. Wow, she's feeling a lot better. Look how fast she's moving. In the meantime, we'll just tranquilize any of the childers we come across. You know, I keep saying childers. That's a really, really old reference to someone I was watching streaming once. He was doing a charity stream, and he meant to say he was raising money for the children, and he ended up saying childers, and since then, anytime I see a kid in anything. Although I guess childers, you know, could be a portmanteau of child and soldiers. Kind of like the war orphans, the warfins, that we talked about in prior games. It is yes, it's an immediate game over if you shoot any of the children with a real gun. So, don't do that. Hey, remember early on when I complained about one of the first things in this game, you know, being a real whale? You know, because they wanted you to get all the Moby Dick references, and then we got a real whale. And then almost immediately, Ocelot said 2 + 2 = 5 and compared 0 to Big Brother because it's literally 1984, like in the game. It's 1984. We're going to get to that third book that the director, I'm not going to say read, but I will say read about. Oh. I don't know. I think it's a little weird that there's a white woman here. It's a little dire. What did Kojima mean by this? Probably something awful. Probably something that I'm gonna not think about as much as possible. But there's always a lady of some kind here. Yeah, so this is a good mission to come back to farm heroism and women. What did Kojima mean by this? Anyway, let's get to that third book. Hey, could you guess what that third book might be that the director San read the cliff notes of? We already heard a conch shell. You get heroism for tranking and extracting them as opposed to what? Well, nothing. Yeah, that's a lot of this. Like I said, even the really cool stuff in this game, it always comes with an asterisk. And it's usually things like that where they create some sort of binary morality system, but they only ever let you make one decision. Like, Miller says, oh, we can't take sides. And when he said that, he was being literal because, no, we don't even get the choice to take sides. The game just tells us what side to take. In situations where it would make sense for us to take sides. You know? And they could have done something like, again, MGS4 had those PMCs. And the militia, and it was going to let you... Death to the pigs, huh? I wonder what this could be about. But yeah, this would be a perfect game to actually have the ability to take sides and be told, oh, boss, we can't pick one side over the other, you have to keep things in balance. But then maybe they could let us actually, like, really fuck up everything. Like, what if we decided here, well, I want to help the child soldiers out, and just, you know, have the entire country being taken over by the... You know what I mean? Like, there could be something that... Wonder what we could be making allusions to here. Anyway, yeah, there's just a lot of that. It's like, oh, there's a heroism in a demon point system. But really only demon points give you a physical change, and then heroism just, I don't know. Hey, let's shut up, because we're about to get this scene. Do you get it? Conch shells and pig heads. And the kids are it's Lord of the Flies. Do you get it? Anyway, here's Eli, the White Mamba. A Caucasian, fair-skinned, fair-haired white boy in Africa who commands a bunch of black child soldiers. Now, if you know your Metal Gear lore, you might think that this is, perhaps Frank Yeager. Maybe they're, doing something like that because he's got the sword. Or perhaps this is Raiden. No. No. It's Liquid. So if I time it right, you can CQC counter it. There we go. Casually Masatsu Child. And it's a cool fight. I actually think this is a cool fight. Especially when you just do that, because it's like, yeah, no, this is how this would go. Even a particularly good child soldier against, you know, a grown-ass adult man in his prime. It's very funny. Yeah, I have issue with the fact, though, that they sort of turned Liquid's backstory into a carbon copy of Raiden's and Gray Fox's. Because Raiden's backstory being kind of like Gray Fox's, I feel like was intentional because I feel like he was always destined to become the next cyborg ninja. They definitely allude to that in MGS2. But with Liquid here, it's just a little odd. Oh! Thanks, Paz! Look at that! Where you at, girl? Got him from over there? I can't tell her thanks, but that's okay. Yeah, so it's a pretty neat fight. It's mostly just a lot of CQC countering. Whoops.
This is B-Quad. Arriving shortly at LZ.
But I would say I like Eli. But again, it comes with huge asterisks of, oh, we're just doing this backstory again? Okay. I guess 1980s Africa is just filled with a bunch of blade-wielding, fair-skinned, fair-haired young boys with swords just coming in and taking command of everyone. What's up with that? What did he mean by this? But whatever. I like Eli's attitude. I like his aura. I like his iconic plastic chair. Never be game over. I do like that too, yeah. Imagine how cool it would be if this actually was Raiden. I think it would be better and more sensible to be Frank, sure, but imagine the hype moment and aura of it being Raiden. Instead, it's neither of them, and something that makes no sense. Yeah. Like, we're about, like, I forget how old Raiden is. He's not, I think he's like 10 years, like 8 years younger than Snake, so the age wouldn't match up. But again, who says the game needs to take place in exactly 1984? But yeah, I think if it was Raiden, that would have been really sick. They could have made a Solidus game that takes place in the 80s if they wanted to deal with child soldiers in Africa in the 80s. They could make a Solidus game where we you know. Anyway, look at him. He's a little asshole. I kind of love it, though. I love that he's just an asshole. And yeah, I mean, like...
Mission complete. Great work.
Like I said, people figured out really early on that that's Liquid. If you look at this this British child who, if the fight goes on long enough, he also says, "Not yet, Snake. It's not over yet." So, I don't even think it's a spoiler. I don't think it's even a spoiler to call him Liquid. Solidus game where there's an assist mechanic to call in Little Kid Raiden and have him stab people for you, like D-Dog with the knife. How you can tell him to just stab a dude to death, kind of like that, but instead it's Raiden. That would rule. Oh, Silent Lynx. That's the lady we saved. Yeah, like that, but with a kid. Exactly. He could, like, jump up on their head. Like, you know how, adult Cyborg Raiden kills the gecko by jumping up on them and, like, stabbing them? Like that, but a little kid jumping on an adult's head, it just... Oh, that would be really fucked up, but, you know. If you want to make a game that's actually really fucked up, there you go. Instead of this, which is just... Again, we keep being a very nice guy, like... This is cool, though, getting to see how Liquid interacts with Big Boss. Because you always hear the stories about how much of an asshole Big Boss was. Foxhound.
Welcome to Outer Heaven.
See, this is the part that Liquid left out. He's like, "Oh, Father always was so brutal and terrible to me." You know, the part that, Liquid left out is he was always trying to stab him? Like, what did you expect?
We got rules around here. Never draw a weapon on a fellow soldier. You got that? Anyone here can use a knife or a gun. What you're gonna learn is how to use your head.
Let's move.
When you get that under your belt, then you're free to leave.
So I like this because it does reframe Liquid as being like, oh, he's kind of just always been a little shit. Like, the Big Boss is over here, like, being cool about it, you know? Being, like, an actually, like, charismatic, bit of a morally gray, but for the most part, pretty good guy. And he's just like, oh, I hated my father so much, he tried to impart me with valuable life lessons. Anyway, hey, we acquired more children. That's good, right? And one of them is Liquid. That's probably less good. Let's just call in our helicopter and get out of here.
Roger. This is Pequod. On station at LZ.
It is kind of cool that this does go some way to explain Liquid's later faux nation building obsession and why he wanted to turn Shadow Moses into a new Outer Heaven and stuff. Yeah, again, that's the standout point of this game, and like I said, I don't like that it's considered the bad story, good gameplay game, because both story and gameplay have a lot of good and bad elements, and I think the stuff with Liquid kind of is like very emblematic of that. It's a lot of cool stuff with Liquid, but there's also a lot of dumb stuff with Liquid. But the fact that, yeah, apparently he was here and saw part of Big Boss trying to build his soldier nation, it makes sense why he would inherit that dream.